Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of National Institution for Quality and Reliability, I extended warm welcome for this virtual convention this evening on the theme Robust Quality for Survival and Growth. I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. S. Rajashekaran, National President, NIQR, to deliver the welcome address.
Guest of honor, Dr. Shivakumar, Managing Partner, RV Industries. Distinguished speakers for the convention, Mr. Satish Borwankar, Executive Director and COO of Tata Motors, and Mr. A.K. Tomar, Executive Advisor, Corporate Planning, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Mr. B.C. Datta, Vice President, Hyundai Motors India Limited, and Mr. Satish Kumar, MD, Salcom India. Distinguished guests and industry leaders, student members, faculty members of various institutions, and the members of NIQR and the office bearers of NIQR. Very good evening. It is my pleasure to start this first digital convention by NIQR. Many of you are aware we conduct biennial conventions in a physical manner. Last convention was held in 2018 at the Chennai Trade Center, where more than 1,000 delegates participated. It was a grand event for 2 days. This is the year for physical convention in 2020. Due to the pandemic, we have postponed the convention to 2021. But at NIQR, we never wanted to step back from our responsibility of conducting a convention, and we came out with the idea of conducting the first digital convention, the theme Robust Quality for Survival and Growth. I hope the entire evening for next 2 hours will be really a joyful experience for every participant, and there will be a lot of great takeaways from this convention, which really helps them to sustain, survive, and also succeed in the near future.
Now I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. P.T. Bharani Perumal, Convention Secretary, NIQR, Chennai branch, to deliver on about the convention.
A delightful good evening to everyone who has joined with us for this convention. National Institution for the Quality and Reliability has been conducting a 2-day grand convention once in 2 years on different themes relevant to current industrial scenario. Why NIQR is conducting this convention? You can have this question in your mind. As one of the policies of NIQR is to play the role of an enabler for MSME and industries in general by familiarizing them with the latest trends and tools from time to time as a capability build-up measure. I welcome and thank you all for being part of this evening. Wish you all a happy virtual convention. Thank you.
I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. B.C. Datta, Vice President, Hyundai Motor India, to deliver the session on exploring opportunities for GDP growth through innovation. Let me go through the profile. Mr. P.C. Datta, a law graduate from Bangalore University, has more than 40 years of experience in various capacities and has 20 years of experience in automobile industry. Currently, he is the Vice President, Corporate Affairs, Hyundai Motor India. Mr. Datta is famous for his articles on indirect taxes in several magazines, newspapers, journals, and also written book on GST published by Taxman. Mr. Datta has represented auto industry before various state and central bodies. His book on Karnataka, VAT published in vernacular language, is first such effort in the country. The Datta is one of the trustees of HMIF CSR Foundation. He is an executive committee member of SIAM, CII, FICCI, MCCI. He heads the CII Tamil Nadu Ease of Doing Business panel. He is one of the core members of Tamil Nadu State Electricity Vehicle Policy Committee. Over to Mr. B.C. Datta, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks to NIQR for this opportunity given. Of course, I'm part of NIQR team here. Thanks to Mr. Rajshekharan. And then this, the GDP issue, of course, is very hot and burning now today in India. We'll look at it through a presentation. The Indian government, in the recent this thing, because of this pandemic, after 1 month we did not do any production. The whole country was closed. Because of that, the GDP definitely for this quarter was expected to be going low, but never expected that it would go so low. So it has now almost gone minus 23%, which is, of course, we were the last among all the countries who have suffered worst. Now, how do we come out of this, and what kind of strategy, innovation, or action that we are taking is that we are going to see today in this presentation. Of course, in the even though it is, India is among the top countries with the GDP growth, we are one of the fastest growing economies also in the world. Despite all that, this negative growth has happened mainly because of the present pandemic. So post lockdown, now we also have started making efforts to unlock. The government of India has several steps taken to unlock the economy, to make sure that everybody starts operating, start working. Of course, with all the standard operating procedures, strict follow-up of the SOP. This, what has happened is it has put a lot of changes, disruption, as Mr. Tomar has told in his presentation. A lot of disruption definitely has happened, and this also has put created a lot of opportunities. So how do we look at this, and how do we see this? The current scenario and the growth prospect. Yeah, how do we, looking at this, what kind of steps we need to take to improve the present economy, present recovery? What kind of steps are being taken? Like the containment measures that we have, of course, already started under 4.0. They have said that only few areas wherever there is a disease is there and number is high, such cases only will be locked down, and rest all will be allowed to be. So also the fiscal incentives, state government and also the central government have been offering several incentive packages, and this has definitely resulted in more and more economic activity and more action on the ground, so that the recovery happens, employment also comes back to the normal. In addition to that, of course, structural reforms and monetary measures. These two definitely will put India back on the track. And then we have also seen just now that though the GDP has grown negative, minus 23, there's always a indication that it's going to go up. And then we have the finance ministry also informed, yesterday they were, of course, on the media saying that we are in that V curve, and then just we have touched the bottom and now we are going to grow up. Next, sir. So under these circumstances, how does the recovery happens, and what kind of steps are we taking? The major two activities that definitely needs to be looked at is the manufacturing and construction. These two will definitely support the economy, support the GDP to come back to normal, and definitely we will hit the top once again in the coming quarters. Now, how does these sectors should be started? Now, the effort by the government, effort by the state is that the to economy to come back to normal, there has to be the manufacturing activity has to be started, and in addition to that, they also want that the whole working force, especially the workers and migrant workers, come back and then start working is the initiative, and also has started. This momentum has now started slowly. The workers who all had gone back to their hometown, home states have now started coming back, especially in the case of construction activity. Definitely, it had almost came to a standstill for several days, even after the unlock was announced. But so now it appears that slowly they have started coming back, and we are going to look at increased this thing. We are also hoping or expecting that it will again hit 8 and 8.5 GDP growth in the coming years. Next, sir. In addition to these, manufacturing and construction, there are other sectors which requires a greater attention. Some of them are, I'll just brief here, which will give you an indication as to how this will grow in the coming months. One is on the manufacturing, of course, we have explained, and of course the other one is labor-intensive services. Wherever there is a high amount of labor is involved, that definitely will look up now and will have more and more activities happening in this area to ensure that we are back and kicking and growing faster. In addition to that, utilities and of course mining, and then construction, of course, we explained, and then knowledge-based industries and services. Of course, we were at the top in terms of knowledge-based industries and services. We will definitely, going very, very aggressively in that area, even though there are some artificial intelligence as we have been seeing, and some activities are happening, which will eventually reduce the number of employment. But there are definitely other avenues, other employment opportunities have been created, mainly because of the knowledge-based industry. Last but not least is agriculture. Agriculture, just in the last week, we saw the tractor sales have gone up tremendously, is a very, very good indication that agriculture is looking up, agriculture is doing well. With the monsoon also doing well, we are very confident, very, very hopeful and strong that this year the agricultural industry as an industry will do well. Our farmers will achieve the greater production of the grains that we look at. The next slide. So these four, the areas, the 6 areas which I told you, will definitely revive the economy, revive the GDP. In addition to that, the other sectors where India has an advantage are, of course, where government has to spend. Of course, is on the infrastructure area, roads and construction, where of course cement, steel, and all that will get started adding up. Of course, metals and fuels, and of course all other activities relating to the manufacturing and construction. And I can mention that textiles, of course, textile, when it comes to, I just definitely must mention here that even Mr. Tomar was asked about the sanitizers and masks and about things like that. So PPE is one area which was, when the pandemic started, somewhere we started the lockdown 1.0 in March. There was hardly any PPE manufacturing was available. It was actually imported. Now today we have a position, all thanks to all our industries and their zeal to make it in India. the whole PPE consumption is now only domestic. We don't import anything from abroad. Now, we have also been asking the government to allow us to export, which government has now permitted now that the PPEs are exported. This kind of an opportunity will come mainly because of this pandemic and its after effects. So the next slide. In addition to all, one more major activity that definitely Government of India looking at, to revive and also improve the present conditions economy is to invite private participation in the public, enterprises. We have, as I understand, about 1,900 public companies are there, and of which there's a huge amount government has invested, and of course there's economic activity or moderate. So Government of India is looking at privatizing them to some extent so that the activities improve, production improves, manufacturing improves, and then we reach a different level and height. This definitely is a sign of improvement, sign of prosperity, an indication that the GDP grows. Next slide. More than anything, in case as we have seen today, the China is also putting a lot of pressure on on India at the borders and various levels. This has also created a lot of disruption in terms of the trade between the two countries. This has also helped many industries to localize. For example, our own auto industry, which has now started, stopped importing and started manufacturing locally. So we have taken a conscious, many of these auto companies have taken a decision that we need to localize. So this will definitely help more local companies to come up, more MSMEs to start operating. There's also an opportunity to import substitution, whichever are the components, parts you want to localize, there's an opportunity to do so now. So for all that, there is of course, world over, there is a cry that the companies have to move out of China. There's an announcement or an indication that more than 200 companies are looking at moving out of China. And of them, several companies have shown interest in coming to India. So this is also an opportunity for all of us to look up to these companies, make sure that they are coming here and they're investing in India. Of course, there's a competition between Indonesia, Vietnam. Vietnam is, though a very small country, has put a lot of efforts in attracting investment from China. Now, having said that, the Government of India also has to take several steps to ensure that these companies, they come here, they invest here, and for that there has to be a hand-holding or making the business process very easy and comfortable. For that, there is a procedure or a system or a ranking, which we call ease of doing business ranking. And this ranking definitely we have improved in the recent past. Of course, there is all indication that it will, go around 50 ranking. We will be among the 50 best countries to invest. So such is the effort taken by the Government of India. Today, of course, the state ranking also has been announced. So this all indicate that how every step of the operation or clearance or approval, the quality has been improving. The deliverability is improving. This is a very, very clear indication of the system improvement, of the quality improvement by the government in ensuring that they are ready to attract the investment, they are ready to take the investment, take those 200 odd countries who are willing to come to India and make sure that they are here, they are comfortable, they are manufacturing, and also they are exporting from the country. So in addition to all this, the government of India has also made announcement that they have to, make policies in such a way that the employment, also opportunities improves. Also, there is a clear indication that the quality of the manpower also improves. Next slide. So for that, several steps have been taken. Some of them are, under the Atma Nirbhar Bharat, they have made an announcement of scheme. In addition to that, they also announced that Skill India, and in how do we improve this skill set of the workers or youngsters here, so that they are capable, they are competent, they are ready to take all these new activities, new technologies, and new opportunities that are available to India. In India. In addition to that, the also government has made taken steps in terms of attracting or making these youngsters to start on their own. So there were several steps government of India has taken to make sure that anybody having an intention to start something on their own, they have a new idea, whether it is relating to manufacture, relating to some service, relating to some technology, or even an app. So government said that we have, you have seen yesterday also, there are several apps have been banned. And these apps also have created a lot of opportunities, a lot of, economic activity. So today there is an opportunity for all these youngsters who are into IT or who have got a flair or a passion for developing these new tools or apps. For them, of course, Government of India has said that Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, please come, please develop these apps and make sure that it is being done in India, developed in India, and of course, we get the fruits of this. So these kind of opportunities definitely will improve and increase the economic activity, employment also will increase. That way, it will ensure that we are back to normal, back to our the regular growth of the GDP. We expect that definitely it will touch in the coming quarters, will come back to normal of 8.5 or even hit 10, which is of course it happened somewhere. I remember during Mr. Manmohan Singh's period when he was the finance minister, not PM, when he was the FM. So it did hit. So such kind of a number or a percentage we will definitely hit is the expectation in the coming months. Now, in addition to all this, how, now I am being from the automobile industry, how companies are also operating. Mr. Tomar explained about MSIL. Hyundai Motor is also in down south, is operating 3 shifts. We are the only company in India having 3-shift operation, and we are the largest exporter from India. Today we have regained our position continuously as #1. Again, back to normal, we have come back. So the exports are increasing, exports are growing. This is an indication that we will hit the normal, and in fact we will grow also further. The results for the last month announced just a day back shows that Maruti also has improved their position from the last year, the same month, about 20%. We have also improved our numbers by 19.5%. Is an indication that we are slowly or surely coming back to normal. Hyundai Motor India also has the distinction of winning 5 Indian Car of the Year award. So this indicates the highest quality that we have been making here in India. These awards are given to the best car in a particular year by all the auto experts of all the journals. They come together and give one award, which we call it as ICOTY, Indian Car of the Year. So this we have won 5 times, which no other company in India have won. is an indication of the high quality. So such quality, such standards only will improve the performance, will improve the number, and we very, very strongly hope and believe that India will get back very, very positive that we have now hit the bottom, and now that V curve is now going to grow, and we will definitely reach the position of 8.5% of GDP in the coming quarters. Is a very strong hope and belief. So we'll go with that hope and belief. Thank you so much. Thanks NIQR for giving this opportunity. Any question is there, definitely we'll take.
Thank you, sir. Madam, due to paucity of time, let us restrict to only 2 questions. Over to Mrs. Uma Mayappan.
Dattaji, isn't this a double-edged sword, where we are saying at one level that we will increase employment opportunities, and at the other end, the MSMEs are trying to adopt a technology so that they reduce cost and reduce labor dependency. So at one end, your labor opportunity is decreasing. The other end, we are saying we will be giving opportunity. We have to grow the job opportunity area. So how do we balance this?
Yeah, artificial intelligence, has put a lot of jobs at redundant. So at the same time, new opportunities also have been created. Like you were only saying that whether asking Mr. Tomar whether this disinfection, whatever that we are doing, will it be there, not there? Same way, it's going to grow only. People who have now started making, this is going to be the standard in the future. Every time we go out or meet somebody, whether we like it or not, we'll maintain that distance, we'll maintain that those standards. So definitely there are opportunities, and MSMEs are really, really taking away the best because of this pandemic and because of this China conflict. So they will definitely benefit. There are more and more MSMEs will come into our start by our people. So also the ones that are already existing, they will also grow big. So this is a great time for MSMEs. Also, I must say here that the local, vocal for local has really caught up with these MSMEs. Added to that, government is giving a huge amount of banking support. Government is standing guarantee for the loans. More than that, what do you want? So definitely going to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suma and Datta sir. Your presentation is in and around complete economics. So obviously there will be a lot of questions on that. With your presentation, we can very well make out, sir, in a competitive world, you are a man of database. We learned today that data only will make us to win over our competitor. Now we are happy to note, sir, that pandemic will not grab the jobs. Rather, it creates high employment and GDP potential through private participation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We at NIQR are planning to conduct our next convention, hopefully a physical convention, in August 6th and 7th, 2021 in Grand Chola Hotel, and for which we request you all to participate so that all of us contribute to the quality movement in India and worldwide. Thank you, one and all. Now the convention is come to an end. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.